Draußen ist Krieg. Du schließt die Augen, bis du gar nichts mehr siehst.
Not at people.
Nie wieder Wehrpflicht.
Für mich ist es eine Bestätigung.
The fact that people can protest, including against my profession, is a validation.
Aber draußen ist Krieg.
I can already see myself in uniform.
Aren't you afraid?
Of what?
Something happening to you.
Everyone has that fear. At least I'd be dying for my country.
Ready for a helmet and a weapon?
Ich kann mir meinen Sohn nicht
I can't imagine my son holding a gun.
Für sich selbst,
For yourself and for our country.
Welche Leute wollen
God, who are they appealing to?
Soon it'll be everyone, not just those born in 2008.
Draußen ist Krieg. Du schließt die Augen, bis du gar nichts mehr siehst. Draußen ist Krieg. Happy birthday to you.
Elias is one of around 700,000 Germans turning 18 this year, which also means he's about to get some mail from the armed forces, the Bundeswehr. As of January 1st, 2026, there are new rules for military service.
Shall I blow them out?
Der Plan ist, dass wir hier
I turn 18 today. I'll be celebrating together with Eric and 2 other friends. We hired this room and yeah, we're going to have a party tonight.
Hier steckt heute Abend eine Feier.
There will be 240 bottles of beer.
Also man wird als 2008er schon
You do get some comments as someone born in 2008. People say, haha, you have to do the military thing. And he doesn't, even though he's only 20 days older than me.
Ja.
I was really worried because I have zero interest in that strict hierarchy that the army's so famous for. I really wouldn't like to be ordered around like that. It makes me think of being in prison. I'm not saying we don't need the military, but it's definitely not my thing. God, who designed this? The beer bottles don't fit. I think it's okay for someone to say, yes, I'd like to work in the military, but personally I can't imagine killing people for a living. Everyone has to decide that for themselves, but it definitely wouldn't be my thing. And I don't personally know anyone who's active in the army or would voluntarily join up.
Bei der Bundeswehr aktiv ist oder sich freiwillig da melden wollen würde.
Die schlimmsten Dinge in deinem Leben sind dir nie passiert. Sorgenkind, hoffentlich wird's morgen nicht doppelt schlimm.
Wir haben jetzt noch 8 Wochen
We've got 8 more weeks of school left and then it's over. After that, I've got time off until spring break and then we're done. Then there are just a few exams left, and prom is sometime in late June. And that's it for school.
Dann hat sich's mit Schule. Ja, das ist ganz schön krass.
It's crazy, so you have to figure out what to do with your life.
Mit seinem Leben macht.
Hi, Mathilde.
Many young Germans feel the same as Elias and Eric. According to a Bundeswehr study, only 10% of 16 to 29-year-olds can see themselves becoming a soldier. At career fairs like this one, the military is trying to change that.
Are you ready for a helmet and a weapon?
Helm und Waffe? Ja,
Let's do it.
Einmal Helm?
Helmet first.
Dann kriegst du von mir
I'll
auch
give
noch
you a
mal
G36, and then we'll do some squats. You can hold the weapon like this. That'll be the most comfortable.
Okay, ready? Und
Ready
runter.
and down.
Und wir warten.
And hold it. You can do it.
Und langsam hoch.
And slowly back up.
Du schaffst das.
You've got this.
Erst da,
He's
dann
right
wieder
behind you to
rechts
help
und
you.
du
You
wirst
won't
nicht
fall.
umfallen. Komm. Wir machen noch
Let's
einen.
try
Probier
one
noch
more.
einen. Und hoch.
And up.
Jetzt. Kann sich auch wirklich
You can put your feet wide apart.
Okay. Und nochmal runter,
And
ganz
down
langsam.
again.
Bleiben kurz unten.
Hold it for a bit.
Und langsam
And then
hoch.
slowly back up. You can do it.
Runter. Noch ein
And
Stück.
slowly back up.
Schaffst du. Und langsam hoch. Hoch. Hättest du das
Did you
gedacht,
think you could do
dass
that
du das
many?
nicht schaffst?
You can usually manage more than you
Du schaffst
think.
mehr als du denkst normalerweise.
Anyone else want to go? Come over.
Given the way things are right now, everyone's asking themselves, should I do it or not? I'm starting to think about maybe joining the military. So I thought I'd check it out.
I'm here if you need me. If you fall, it'll only hurt a bit. Do it the same speed as me. No faster, no slower. We've got this. 3, 2, 1, and down. Now hold it and slowly up. We've got a few more to go. And up and down. That was a bit too quick. Hey, we'll do some more and you'll get the hang of it.
This year alone, the German government plans to spend over 108 billion euros on defense. But the Bundeswehr still faces a big problem, a lack of recruits who want to serve in the military.
What's the point of having teenagers with 6 months' experience who aren't that motivated? That's not a group that'll be able to defend our country well.
I'm definitely not going to do military service, so it's not like I'm afraid of getting the letter. But sure, it's always in the back of my mind a bit.
Bisschen im Hinterkopf ist es immer.
Und die Chöre singen für dich.
This plate is ultimately the thing that saves your life. It's what would stop a bullet. It's really expensive. If you drop it, you'll be in trouble. But it's your life insurance. You have one in the front and one in the back. I just wanted to show you.
Over the next 10 years, the German Bundeswehr plans to grow its active duty force from around 184,000 to 260,000. Fairs like this one are a way to reach potential recruits.
These exhibition booths really appeal to young people. It's great. They just come up and we start talking. Oh, you're from the Bundeswehr, and you offer skills training. And there are all these careers that don't necessarily involve being a soldier.
His dad served.
Still active? No longer active, okay. And what do you want to do?
We're a long way from knowing that.
How old are you?
16.
What grade?
11th.
Do you want to study after school?
Yeah.
Do you know what? Not yet. Okay. Here are our degrees in civilian defense administration. With those, you usually become a civil servant. And here are the military degrees we offer. But with those, you have to want to become a soldier. You also have to commit to at least 13 years, or for a pilot, 16 years. It's 20 years if you're studying too, because then the training is more intensive. I can give you the information and you can look it over at home and decide.
The German military is trying to portray itself as an attractive employer. It's a tactic that some have criticized.
I actually considered joining the armed forces myself, for the money and for benefits, like having the cost of getting your driver's license paid for. But then I realized that that's exactly what the military wants, to lure people in with high salaries and other perks that you don't get with regular jobs. The posters have been here a while. After the first strike, we found out there'd be a second one, so I changed the date.
16-year-old Neo, not his real name, helps to organize school strikes to protest potential conscription.
Have you made this paste before?
Yeah, after the meeting, with flour, sugar, and water.
You have to wash everything out each time because it gets sticky. I already had to throw one away. There's no mold and the paste is coming off, no problem.
Neo's friend Max fears that conscription will be reintroduced, which some German officials say is a possibility.
There won't be enough volunteers, so to us it's clear that they'll just bring back conscription. This is an important moment for us. We have to take to the streets and show that we won't accept this.
I don't want the far-right AfD party to end up with a heavily armed and combat-ready army at its disposal.
Was, wenn ich dir sage, du bist nicht alleine? Du bist wütend und wirfst keine Steine. Sie sagen, die Jugend ist deprimiert. Sie sei an Politik nicht interessiert.
If I thought my life here was worth defending, then I'd defend it, but I don't.
Aber das tue ich nicht.
Aus stummem Protest wird eine Horde. Das sind mehr als nur Worte.
Max is critical of living conditions in Germany. He refuses to fight on that basis.
My friends and family and the people I know are worth defending, but I'd rather take them with me and go. I'd rather not poster over the Iran one.
Okay.
In the event of war, he'd leave.
Okay.
There are a lot of political struggles happening at the same time right now, so our resources are spread quite thin. But we also think this campaign could be a strong foundation for mobilizing the masses, especially in this moment.
Can
I take the purple one? My parents knew they didn't want one of their sons being sent to die in some war. People don't care about protests on a Saturday, but if schools are suddenly empty, that has much more impact.
According to the state education ministry, anyone who goes on strike during school hours will have an unexcused absence recorded against their name. In some cases, it could even affect their grades.
The only thing that could happen is if I'm supposed to take a test. If the teacher wanted to, they could give me an F.
For some students, that would be a bitter pill to swallow.
I'm protesting because this government and the state in general is doing very little for young people. Our school was supposed to be renovated a decade ago. The facade is still from the GDR era. And generally, there just aren't many reasons why I should fight for Germany.
Die haben auf Bildung geschissen, da bist du nicht wichtig, doch geht es Krieg, ja dann holen die euch Schule verschlissen, doch Waffen sind so wie neu. Ich war ja Bundeswehr, ab nur wenn Saudi läuft, Dicker.
Für mich persönlich ist es eine Bestätigung in dem, was
I think that the fact people can protest, including against me, against my profession, is a validation of what I do. Because it's not a given, especially in these times. Around the world, you see lots of countries where press freedom and freedom of speech are restricted, where people can't just express their opinions and beliefs.
7, 8, 9, come on, 10, keep going, 11, 12, you can do it, 13, 2 more, come on, just 2 more, 14, now 1 more, 15, perfect.
I've been accepted for a nursing apprenticeship starting in October.
Yeah, straighten up that helmet.
But if the ambulance service accepts me, I'll go there and maybe join the military if my body's up to it. If I decided to join the Bundeswehr now, what would be the best way to prepare for basic training? Or what are the key things that you should know before you start?
The main thing is to stay physically active. Basic training involves a lot of physical activity, especially in the early stages, to bring you recruits up to the required fitness level. The actual military service and weapons training only begins after 5 or 6 weeks. Personally, I think the decision to ultimately have to shoot at people is an incredibly difficult one. But I would use a firearm to protect myself and my comrades in conflict situations.
What kind of gun is it? A G36?
Wenn hier für Pistole, они меня походу забрать хотели. Они стрел. Dafür?
I'm with the German Red Cross, so really I wanted to be helping people, stopping the bleeding. It's hard to imagine shooting somebody. I understand people saying they're not prepared to fight for their country, that they don't feel mentally capable of killing people. But for me, this country is where I grew up. It's where I came of age. It's where I want my children to grow up. I'd fight for it if I had to.
As a defense force and a member of military alliances, Germany's Bundeswehr is rearming amid a rise in security tensions and global conflict. Young Germans will have to decide what role, if any, they want to play.
I'm actually hopeful about the future. Because if you spend the whole time worrying about who's trying to take over your country, then you won't be happy at all. So I'm generally optimistic, even though things you read every day are definitely scary.
A week after his birthday, Elias gets a letter. All German men are now obliged to fill out a military questionnaire when they turn 18.
This looks like the right letter.
Ja.
What's this?
Was ist das hier? Weil die Demokratie Streitkraft braucht, okay. Okay, das ist durch eine so Information, das ist nicht der Brief. Wirklich. Eine Erklärung zu ihrer Bereitschaft.
To submit a statement regarding your willingness and ability to perform potential military service in the Bundeswehr. Registration is done via the digital questionnaire. The questionnaire is mandatory. The access key gives you the chance to make a difference for yourself, for others, and for our country.
God, who are they appealing to?
All male Germans who have reached the age of 18 and who reside in the Federal Republic of Germany. Okay, so that's me.
Okay, also ich.
They have so many of your details. It's like opening a bank account.
Ja, die wissen eh schon.
They probably already know whether I'll say yes.
Google knows more about me than the Bundeswehr.
Yeah, probably.
Here are all the perks you get if you join up. More take-home pay. It sounds like a campaign ad for a political party. Starting salary of 2,600 euros, but after tax it'd be 2,200.
Dann bist du bei 2,2. Also es ist auf jeden Fall.
It's definitely a guaranteed way to make money quickly after school. So that's appealing. The question is that what you want to do with your life after finishing high school?
Die Frage, ob das ist, was man gerne machen will mit seinem Leben nach dem Abitur. Okay, dann würde ich den jetzt einfach scannen.
Okay, so I'll scan it and take a look.
Within 4 weeks, Elias has to give information about his health, his educational qualifications, and say if he wants to join the German military. Or not.
Sorgenkind, obwohl du doch eigentlich längst schon erwachsen bist.
Sind Sie bereit als
Are you prepared to be a soldier?
That's the key question.
Dann haben Sie grundsätzlich
How interested are you in voluntarily enlisting? 0 means no interest. 10 means you definitely want to.
Ich möchte unbedingt Soldat werden. Also wenn du schon
So even if you put a 1, it means you have some interest.
Interesse hast. Was ist das denn?
What kind of scale is this?
Also du kannst entweder
Either you put 0 or you're saying you'd become a soldier.
As soon as you put 1, you're a potential candidate, because you're saying you could imagine it.
Ich kann es mir theoretisch vorstellen. Genau. Das hier ist ja einfach,
Getting a letter with a QR code and having to fill out your details on a website is simple. It feels like a much bigger deal that I have to go to a place and undergo a physical examination.
als jetzt so einen Brief in Anführungszeichen auszufüllen.
Funksender mit Output verbinden, Regler für den Input aufdrehen.
March 5th, 2026. School students across Germany go on strike to protest the new military service law, including in Potsdam.
Wenn man in der Schule demokratische Werte
If you learn democratic values in school, they include the right to assemble and express your views. So it's part of what school should be about.
Und ich finde, das gehört zum schulischen Unterricht.
The problem is, there are only a few weeks before final exams, and taking part in the school strike means being absent without permission.
I'm a bit worried that most people don't even know about this second strike and just won't show up.
The protesters will march past local schools so that students can join spontaneously and so that administrators get the message.
The sign says, "No Bundeswehr at Helmholtz." Helmholtz is a high school near here. We're saying we don't want young officers coming to schools to recruit people.
Frag mich, was sein Leben wert ist. Die sitzen in Palästen und dann reden sie von Wehrpflicht. Nichts ist hier sicher, aber ein paar Dinge stehen fest. Würden nie sterben für ein Land, das uns so leben lässt.
Wie spät ist es?
What's the time?
24.
Oh, we've got 6 minutes. That's tight.
The strike demonstration is starting at the old market in the center of Potsdam. Right now, it's mostly police who are there.
We'll stay in touch. I'll be there the whole time, and if anything happens, we'll communicate.
Sounds good, thanks. Can anyone take a walkie-talkie?
The young people are supported by volunteers from an anti-war group called the Potsdam Campaign, which offers people advice about declining military service.
If you don't like the armbands, we have vests too.
Where's the awareness team?
The ones in the pink vests. The purple ones are event management and the press, the pink is the awareness team, and we're wearing stewards' armbands.
Max is in college, so he doesn't have to skip class. For Neo, it's different.
I'm actually supposed to be in politics class right now, but this is just as good in terms of political education, if not better. I go to a comprehensive school. I'm in grade 11. If I get an unexplained absence, it won't be the end of the world.
Any stewards who are free, please come to the front and help stop the banners from blowing away. Thanks. I forgot to say over.
I don't think entire school classes are going to show up, but I think a few groups of friends will.
A week after the career fair, we meet up with Tom again.
I'd say I'm a little closer towards my dream or my desire to join the Bundeswehr. I think my father would discourage me from joining up because he knows firsthand the things you have to be prepared to do. I do feel a sense of duty to my country, to protect the country where I grew up and where one day I'd like to raise my own children. But that's not to say that the army is the only way to fulfill that sense of duty. I mean, nursing is a way of helping my country too.
Tom lives in a small town in eastern Germany with his mother. She doesn't want him to join the military, especially not now, given all the wars happening around the world.
Ja.
The fact that they're starting to want to draft boys again shows that things are really in crisis.
And that's
frightening, whether you have a child or not. Thank God he's only 16. Things in the world just seem so bad right now. So you're considering it?
What?
Joining the army?
Yeah.
Can't you wait till you're 18?
No.
Once you're 18, you can do what you want anyway.
Good point.
I still don't like it.
I know.
I just can't picture my son holding a gun. I can't imagine my son having to use a gun or someday getting shot himself. That's obviously the worst possible thing for a mother. Yes, I'm really scared. I don't want it to happen.
Das will ich nicht.
But someone has to defend our country. Look at it this way. Would you prefer that I died fighting to protect my country? Or that I just did nothing and then got killed by some bomb without having done anything?
I'd rather neither happened.
But which of those two options?
Neither. Wouldn't the simplest thing be if neither happened?
There will always be war, right?
What happens when democracy is attacked from the outside? Tough question. First, we need to make sure that doesn't happen. And if it does, we should focus on protecting it from within. I run the school politics club. We organize discussions. I'm also on the student council. And I'm here at the Children and Youth Advisory Council to contribute to democracy.
Politicians need to involve young people more and make us part of the process. And not just when it comes to military service, because we have opinions on all issues, whether it's for or against.
Intergenerational justice comes into play too. When you look at what's coming our way, things like the climate crisis and probably higher taxes, it's quite a lot to deal with.
Do you think girls should be involved on the same level as boys? Or is it okay if boys are drafted and girls can enlist voluntarily?
Well, I can't imagine joining the Bundeswehr. And I understand the argument that I've heard from a lot of women, that women already have so many responsibilities and disadvantages, and this would be yet another obligation.
I think we need a paradigm shift in society, where we view the Bundeswehr as a chance to take on responsibility before university or vocational training, straight after high school.
I don't think I'd be taking on responsibility just doing basic army training, being bossed around at the lowest level.
Let's not kid ourselves. War is the act of killing other people on behalf of one's country. For decades, the Bundeswehr has been at gaming conventions and school career fairs, targeting kids as young as 14 who don't have a clue what it means to be at war. I don't think that should be allowed. It's morally reprehensible to recruit children and teenagers to kill people.
Recruiting implies that it's voluntary, so if it's mandatory?
Exactly. It goes without saying that making it mandatory is even worse.
I think we all agree that the way the reform was communicated without any consultation wasn't great. The whole law, the way it's been brought in, is far from ideal.
Opinions are divided, and many young Germans are making their voices heard.
Wir sind hier, wir sind laut, weil ihr uns die Zukunft klaut. Wir sind hier, wir sind laut.
We'll be heading down Friedrich-Ebert-Straße in the right-hand lane, then we'll go all the way up to the Dutch Quarter. Thanks.
Danke. Check.
There are 4 schools along the protest route, including NEO's.
I'm struck by how many students decided to stay at school. But it's understandable if some felt like they had to prioritize their final school grades.
The police say around 400 people took part in the march in Potsdam. Organizers say around 50,000 took part nationwide in 150 locations.
Sometimes the number of protesters isn't so important as long as you have a loud, powerful crowd. It gives you goosebumps. It's great to see so many people with an understanding of what war, the military and conscription actually mean for people. Every time you protest, you get a really strong sense of hope.
It always feels good to be out on the streets with so many people. It makes me feel a lot less powerless.